Gumawa tayo ngayon ng isa sa napakasarap ibenta, ipangregalo at kainin ngayon darating na holiday season. This is butter cake. Ay chef, ang simple naman po niyan. Akala mo lang yon. Napakarami mong variations na pwedeng gawin, mga flavors using this very simple recipe. I'll show and tell you about that later. Pero ngayon, simulan muna natin. Ano ba ang main ingredient nito? Siyempre, butter. Ngayon, ang ginagamit ko is the new product of Arla. This is the sweet cream butter. I've tested this several times. Pinanlaman ko na yan sa tinapay. Di ba ang turo ko sa inyo? For you to know if a product is really good, eat it first with a piece of bread so you can savor its full flavor. And this is good. I like it. And the good news, it's very affordable. You can buy it. It's available at SNR and baking supply stores. Okay? So, ito. May nagtatanong palagi nito. Paano po ba namin malalaman kung ang butter ay tunay? O sa butter, the good news, may indicator yan for you to know if it's authentic. Kailangan, pag binasa mo yung label, nagsosolo yung word na butter. Pag nagsosolo siya, ibig sabihin, pure butter talaga yung iyong nabili. Okay? And we will discuss more on my question and answer portion, which I will post soon. Okay? Let's start first with the recipe. You will be needing the dry ingredients. This is all-purpose flour, baking powder, and baking soda. I'm going to sift this first. Pagsasama-samahin ko sa sifter at least twice. Okay? Kung ikaw ay talagang gusto mong nagsisift, you can sift it up to 3 times. Pwede. Or 4 times, kung saan ka masaya, wag naman sobra-sobrang sifting kasi baka mamaya, syempre no, hindi mo nakikita. Nagliliparan din yung particles niyan. Baka wala nang matira sa iyong dry ingredients. So, I'm sifting it 3 times. Bakit ba tayo nagsisift? First, you want to combine all the ingredients together. In some recipes, kapag gumagawa ka ng cookies, brownies, pwede nang i-whisk mo na lang yung ingredients. But if you're preparing delicate baked goods such as cakes, mas maganda sinisift mo. Para talagang yung crumbs ng iyong binibake ay pinong-pino, very smooth. And another reason why we sift is also to aerate, para magpasok ka ng hangin dun sa dry ingredients. And also, last reason is to remove any impurities. So for example, yung harina mo, katabi ng paminta, nahulugan ng konting paminta, through sifting, nalilinis mo yung iyong dry ingredients. So, dry ingredients ready. Next, let's prepare our wet ingredients. I have here heavy cream. Pwede po ba all-purpose? Yes, pwede. And I have here lemon juice. Ibubuhos ko yung lemon juice dito sa aking heavy cream and then I'm going to mix it. Basically, we are preparing here a homemade sour cream. O, tingnan mo ha, nakita mo yung changes. It's now very thick because of the acid. Bakit po ba kailangan lagyan pa niyan? Bakit po ba sour cream pa ang kailangan nating gamitin? Because the acidity of the lemon or the acidity of your sour cream will help tenderize your cake and make it even more moist. O, di ba? Mahilig tayo sa mga moist na cake. So, this is now your sour cream. Chef, meron po kaming sour cream na nabibili na mura sa lugar namin. Pwede po bang yun na lang? Wag nang gumawa ng homemade sour cream? Yes, of course. Although this recipe kasi, you will be using the skin or yung zest of the lemon. So, might as well, gamitin mo din yung juice. Okay? Next, you need your butter. I'm using salted butter. Bakit po? Nakasanayan ko na po kasi sa baking yan. Kasi when I started baking, I was 9 years old. Bihira pa ang unsalted butter sa supermarket. So, I got used to using salted butter. And then, you have your sugar, grated lemon zest, and eggs. Yung eggs, mamaya pa yan. So, itabi natin. This is creaming method. Ibig sabihin, you're going to beat the butter and the sugar. So, ilalagay ko na yung butter ko sa mixer. Room temperature, spreadable consistency. As always, you put the butter and the sugar in your mixing bowl. Pwede po ba hand mixer? Pwede po. Medyo matagal ka lang maghahalo. I'm also going to put now the lemon zest. Why? Para talagang malayo ang kanyang marating. Kumalat ang essential oils ng lemon. I'm going to beat this on medium speed. Kung hand mixer, pwede mong itodo yung speed until light and fluffy. So makikita mo, naghalo na sila, di ba? Ito po ay tinatawag natin ulit na creaming method. This is an important mixing for cakes and pastries. Kaya kailangan, as a baker, ma-master mo ang process ng creaming method. So, kung mapapansin mo, I show it to you, mabigat yung mixture, compact. Kasi syempre, mabigat ang butter mo, mabigat din ang sugar. Ang gagawin mo, with the help of the mixer, as it mixes, magpapasok ka ng hangin, making the butter and the sugar light and fluffy. Possible po ba yun? Yes, because the air will get trapped with the fat molecules in the butter. Kaya ang mangyayari dyan, aalsa yung iyong mixture, okay, magiging light, fluffy, and creamy. So let's keep on mixing. Ganong katagal po yan, mga 6 to 8 minutes ka pong maghahalo. Huwag mo pong mamadaliin na, ay, itutodo ko na lang yung mixer, chef, kasi baka malusaw yung butter mo, especially kung mainit sa iyong kusina. So, we will keep on beating this and hihintayin natin yang mag-light and fluffy. So, I'm scraping the sides and the bottom of the bowl because this is ready. You will see, the color has turned light and the texture is now fluffy. Kitang-kita mo naman, di ba? Yung changes. Now, I'm going to keep on beating this and I'm going to add in the eggs one at a time. I'm going to give you a tip. The eggs are cold, no? So normally when I bake, I always tell you all ingredients at room temperature. But this time, secret yan ha, huwag ninyo ipagkakalat. I use cold eggs. Why? So that the butter would stay compact, hindi siya matutunaw, no? So this step, huwag mong mamadaliin because this is responsible for making the cake stable. O di ba? Huwag mong mamadaliin para mas stable. Relate? Okay. Let's keep on mixing. Turn on the mixer again, medium speed, and then I'm going to put in the eggs one at a time. Kailan po ako maglalagay ng sunod na itlog, chef? Pag nawala na yung una mong inilagay. So nawala na, di ba? You put the second egg. Chef, na-excite po ako na ibuhos ko po lahat ng itlog. No problem. Basta hintayin mo lang silang mawala. And then of course, yan, di ba, nawala. But you can see, yung gilid nakadikit yung butter, so you make sure to scrape that. Palagi mong lilinisin yung gilid, tsaka yung ilalim, to make sure that the cake batter is very smooth and even. Okay? Now, ang natira sa yung ingredients, the dry ingredients that we have sifted 3 times, and then your homemade sour cream. Ibubuhos natin yan dito, okay, gradually. You always start with the dry ingredients because dry ingredients are binder. Ibig sabihin, yan yung papagitna para magsama ng mabuti yung iyong fats because these are both high in fat. Your butter, your eggs, and then your sour cream. So, eto yung magbabalance. O, di ba? In life, palaging may nagbabalance. Parang baking lang yan. Hindi nawawala yan. We just have to be patient. Di ba? So, you put your dry ingredients I beat it, low speed. Bakit low speed? Para hindi po tumalsik yung harina and para hindi mag-develop yung gluten. Because flour contains gluten and if there's too much gluten development, titigas naman yung cake mo. Half of the sour cream. Turn off the mixer. More dry ingredients. Mukha lang siyang complicated, pero kapag nag-practice ka at mapasensya ka, napakadali na niyan. Mix it again. And then I put the rest of my wet ingredients, the sour cream. Chef, gusto ko po yan gawing mocha butter cake. Lagyan mo ng coffee powder, instant coffee powder. 1 to 2 tablespoons yung iyong dry ingredients. Gusto ko pong gawin yung ube butter cake. Lagyan mo ng ube powder, mga 1/4 cup yung iyong dry ingredients. Gusto ko pong gawin yung matcha or green tea butter cake. Lagyan mo ng 2 to 4 tablespoons ng green tea powder. Itong iyong dry ingredients. Okay? So, napakarami mong pwedeng gawing variations dito. Kung ano makakapagpasaya sa yung variation. Gusto ko pong gawin yung orange lemon butter cake. Dagdagan mo ng orange zest. Chef, meron po kaming tanim na dayap. Nauumay na po ako sa kagagawa ng leche flan. Instead of the lemon, you use dayap. No problem. You clean again the sides of the mixing bowl. Taga-Japan po ako, chef. Pwede ko po bang lagyan ng black sesame seeds yan to make it a black sesame butter cake? Sure, pwede. Taga Cebu po ako. Can I put dried mangoes? Yes, pwede. Ilagay mo kung ano ang makakapagpasaya sa'yo. Okay, now you will see it's already smooth, no? Now, there is a technique, secret po ulit natin to ha, that I've learned in pastry school in New York. Ganito lang daw kasimple yan. To prevent na may mga trap na air bubbles dun sa loob ng cake mo and to make sure that the batter is 100% smooth, ginagawa itong technique na to. Tignan mo ha. 10 to 15 seconds, ilagay mo on full speed. Full speed, yung pinakamabilis na speed, and then you turn off the mixer. Hindi mo ma-overmix yan because that is just parang sinashock mo lang yung cake na kailangan maging smooth ka. You have to be perfect dahil marami akong orders na naghihintay. O, diba? So now, you have a very smooth cake batter. Simutin mong mabuti because of course, may kamahalan po ito. Maraming ingredients tayong nilagay dito sa cake na to. And then let's get our baking pan. This is a bundt pan, 10-inch bundt pan. You can use whatever size, whatever shape of baking pan na gusto mo. Gusto mong i-bake sa cupcake pan, gusto mong i-bake sa tin can, gusto mong i-bake sa muffin pan, sa bilog na pan, sa square, sa loaf pan, kung saan ka masaya, doon mo i-bake. No? Kailangan lang, wag mong pupunuin yung baking pan, 3/4 full. Baka kasi umapaw. So now, I'm putting it on my bundt pan. Inisprayan ko lang ng non-stick baking spray yung aking bundt pan. This is the brand. This was given to me by Oleo Fats. I think you can buy that also from some baking supply stores. Or kung ayaw mong gumamit ng spray, pahiran mo ng shortening or butter. Okay. That's it. And then I just use the help of a smaller spatula to even it out. Like that. Huwag kang magpaka-stress sa pagpapantay niyan masyado. Kasi pag sinalang mo sa oven yan, malulusaw yan and I just get my towel, look, okay? And then you just tap it once. Bakit natin tinatap? Para magpantay. Okay? Now, we're going to bake it. I'm going to go to the oven. So, I've preheated my oven. It's on a bake setting. I preheated it at 160 degrees. Kung Fahrenheit, around 350. And I'm going to set it at 1 hour. So, ibe-bake ko yan dito, mga 1 hour or until the top exterior of the cake. Pag hinawakan mo yung ibabaw ng cake, ay medyo tuyo na. Hindi po ba nakakapaso yon? Hindi naman. Pero kung natatakot ka, you get a barbecue stick or a chopstick. Iganon mo dun sa ibabaw. Pag napansin mong almost firm na, luto na yon. At yan ang ating babalikan. So, if you want to make rum butter cakes, I have here rum, konting sugar, and lagyan mo din ng konting water. So, just bring it to a boil hanggang matunaw yung sugar, and then that's it. Okay? This is your rum syrup. And this is the cake. Naluto na siya. It has cooled down already, and of course, I placed it on a cooling rack to make sure na nagsisirculate yung hangin para yung ilalim niya is hindi magbabasa. Pag kasi may basa, may natrap na moisture, what will happen is mabilis mapapanis yung iyong cake. Okay? So, if you want rum butter cake, what you can do, pwede mong tusuk-tusukin. You can use a tinidor or you can also use barbecue stick. Tusuk-tusukin mo yung iyong cake. And then, you brush it. Actually, binabrush natin ito paulit-ulit. Hindi lang isang beses para talagang nagpe-penetrate yung rum. Ay, ayaw ko po niyan. Ayaw ko po ng rum kasi baka po malasing kami. Hindi ka naman malalasing dito. Actually, the rum helps also to prolong the shelf life of the cake. Pwedeng lagyan mo lang ng whipped cream or as simple as lagyan mo lang ng konting powdered sugar. O, di ba? Ang ganda na niya tignan. And then, ilipat mo dito sa magandang chopping board or hindi pala chopping board to. Cake, lalagyan ng cake. Okay? Di ba? It's very presentable, picture perfect, smile, and of course, ang gandang ipambenta nito. And solve na yung problem mo na yung kapitbahay ko po nanonood din ng video nyo. Pareho kami ng ititinda. Gawin mong rum butter cake. Rum butter cake din po yung kanya. Gawin mong orange liquor butter cake. Diba? Ang dami namang alcoholic drinks. Gawin mong Baileys butter cake kung talagang gusto mong may alcohol cake. Diba? Very creative kayo. So I'm sure you'll be able to create a very good product using this basic. I want to show you the inside. Look how nice. And even. Diba? Parang pang magazine lang, and I'm sure, mas maganda pa ang mga gawa ninyo. Kaya ano pang hinihintay nyo? Teka, titikman ko pala. Kasi doon sa huling video, may nagsabi, bakit po walang tasting portion? Ang maganda dito, hindi lang siya magandang tignan, napakasarap din. So, gawa na. See you again next time.